Hello BookTube, hello Tutorverse. I am very excited to be doing my very first tag here, the Shelf Respect tag, which I got from Hannah's Books. She had gotten it from somewhere else and I don't remember where, but I will find it and leave a link down below. I decided to do that because it was the perfect opportunity, because I finally have shelves. My house burned down in January and I moved. We moved into a house that had no bookshelves, which was kind of okay because I had no books. And now I am starting to correct that a little bit at a time. And with what you see here is the very beginning. I did my original book haul from the library book sale, and I got a whole bunch there, and now I have more. But so the first question is, how do you arrange your books on the shelves? And here we go. I have the Tudor books. I have the fiction on top, nonfiction on the bottom. I have more nonfiction behind, well, in the form of one book that had originally been delivered or was supposed to be delivered to my old house, and I don't really know what happened to that, but it's basically gone. But so those I separate. Non-Tudor books I group together, and right now those are kind of a mix between nonfiction and fiction. They're primarily nonfiction. That's where I ended up going with this first haul. Second question, have you ever merged your collection with your significant other? This is all mine in a past life, in a past house. I allowed my husband to get a couple of little pieces here and there, but basically he got his own bookshelf in a separate spot. So we were able to kind of keep our collections separate. They were very different areas, so it made sense to keep it like that. 3, do you write your name and or the price paid in your books? And I don't. My grandfather was an antiquarian book dealer, and he would write the price he paid for every single book, as well as where he got it, because that was just part of his filing system. He would do it in very light pencil and erase everything beforehand. My mother did that after him for a little while, and I never did that. I never sold a book after. So no, I don't. I thought about getting one of those, cute little stamps so that I could lend books to people and get them back, but no, I don't. Do you keep all the books you've read or only the most cherished? Here we go. One of the worst pieces of losing my old library was the number of books I had that I had not actually read, but that I consulted. So I had this one book, The Social History of Lighting, which was original from the 1940s, and it was an amazing thing. And I mean, I read everything surrounding the Tudor era and earlier, because that was really a way of bringing some really good background knowledge into my work, but I never read the later parts. So I would keep a lot of nonfiction to consult, and that really was a hard part, because as I found out, I was editing I was editing my next novel, and I had a question about, well, what were the factions that Elizabeth was dealing with during this time? And I realized I had no place to go look it up. So I have a list, and I'm going to be going on to a whole bunch of places to try to figure out how to replace the ones I need. Number 6, I'm sorry, I'm worried that I skipped one. Number 6, do you have any gripes or complaints about bookcase construction? I love the squares. I do. I, I am happy to have them. These are just fine, and no gripes. I had my old bookcases were big, heavy wood things, and this is fine. I don't have an issue. Um, 7, do you ever stack books horizontally? I did, right there. I did not do it often. There were in my old bookshelves a couple of shelves where I did, mainly because I wanted to keep like decorative things on either side, and I did that. But no, I did not do that. My mother, when she ran out of her bookshelves, she went through this whole thing of like stacking things up on the floor, and when they got to a little bit too high, it was kind of an issue. But that's a different story. I'm not up to that yet, and I'm not going to be there for a while. 8, what are your 5 favorite jackets or covers? I don't know about 5. I'm not going to go through here, but my one favorite is the cover from my upcoming book. It's coming out on May 19th, which is not only the anniversary of Anne Boleyn's execution, it is also the anniversary of the date on which Elizabeth was released from the Tower when she was imprisoned there. So I like to say that Elizabeth will be released when Elizabeth was released. I love this cover. I'm completely in love with it. This is my favorite. I also like the covers of all of my books, but that one is absolutely my favorite. What are your 5 most disliked jackets or covers, and why? I'm not going to get specific. I am going to say that the new trend of these cartoonish like covers for modern fiction, I don't like those. I like a little bit more of an old-fashioned thing instead. 10, is there such a thing as too many books? Again, I'm not going to get there for quite a while. When these bookshelves are overflowing, when my next set of bookshelves are overflowing, I have plans for a whole bunch of bookshelves. When you can't fit any more books into your home, and you have nowhere else to put a bookshelf, then yes, that I will give you too many books. But until then, no. It's interesting because a friend of mine is going through an experience right now where she decided she didn't want to buy any new books, and instead is just reading all of the books that she has on her Kindle or in her library that she has not yet gotten around to. And so that's an interesting take. I mean, did she have too many books before since she had more than what she was able to read? Or isn't it wonderful that she's able to have all of this promise that she's been looking forward to for a long time? So it kind of works either way. So that's the tag. I am very excited. I kind of got 2 birds with 1 stone here. I showed my cover of the new book, which I had meant to do, but since I had posted so little, it didn't seem fair to do a whole separate thing. But I will be adding as time goes by. So I look forward to that. Thank you.